Hi guys, it's Abby with the Bead Place, and today I'm going to show you how to make this wire tree pendant. The materials that you'll need are one of our pewter links. You'll need 26 gauge wire, and you will also need about 24 4mm bicone crystals. So the first thing that you want to do is cut a length of wire that's equal to about your arms outstretched. If you're tall, what you can do is make it just a little bit shorter. So what I'm then going to do is fold this wire in half like this and cut it in half. I'm then going to take each piece, fold those in half, and cut. So now I have 4 pieces of wire. You're going to repeat that again with another length of wire. Okay, now that we have a total of 8 wires, what we're going to do is take one of the wires and fold it in half, like this. We're going to then put the link into the half of, or into the center of the wire. So what I'm going to do is start coiling with one side of the wire. And I'm just going to coil it through the link and around about 4 times. So it's okay if it's a little sloppy, you can always go back in and tighten your wires. So you've just done this. I'm going to go back in and give you a closer look. So you'll notice that I've coiled around, and I have 4 coils, and my wires are just kind of hanging out. So I'm going to take my next piece of wire and again fold it in half. I'm going to put the link in the center of my wires, and I'm going to take one side, coil it around, tighten it, coil it around, coil it around, and coil it around. So you can see what I've just done. So I'm working with different colors of wire just so you guys can get a better idea of what we're actually doing, so you can see the difference between the wires as I'm working. But you'll probably want to work with one color of wire, unless you're really creative, and then you could do whatever you want. So I'm going to continue on with another length of wire. I have my original color of wire here. I'm going to fold it in half and put it in the link, or put the link in it actually. Then I'm going to coil, 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 and coil. Now you don't have to be super precise about this. Trees, of course, aren't perfect, and you want it to kind of look organic. So once you've coiled it, you're just going to slide them all together. So if I've done 3 wires, I should have 6 ends, and kind of pull your wires down so that they're all in the same direction, just to kind of get them out of your way. So I'm going to show you one more just in case you didn't get the hang of it so far, and then I'm going to move on to the next step. So you're going to want to coil all of your wires in this direction. I have folded in half, put my loop in. I'm going to just take one side of the wire and coil it around 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it doesn't matter what side of the wire you're choosing, and it doesn't matter if your ends are different lengths then. So again, I'm going to slide this down to the middle, kind of push them all together, and you can see what I have so far. I'm going to do the same with my last 4 wires, and I'll come back to show you what's next. Okay guys, so this is what I have so far, and what I've just done is I have built the roots to the tree. So when we look at the trees that we have to show, we've just done this part right here. So you're probably thinking, why are the wires going down? Well, just because I don't want them in the way when I'm coiling other wires. So now what we're going to do is flip them up like this, and we're going to start the trunk of the tree. So if if we're looking at this tree, you'll notice that the twist in the wire stops about halfway. Now you can of course do whatever you want, but one thing that you need to keep in mind is when you're twisting, it's going to be really difficult to control where that twist stops. So you want to keep your fingers really low while you're twisting. So what I like to do actually is hold the link like this to start the twist, just so that I can have a bit more control. And then once I get a few little twists in, then I'll bend it back up. So I'm going to hold really low because the twist is going to want to travel really high quickly. I'm going to hold it really low and just start my twist. So see how already that twist has gone way up there, even though I'm holding it pretty low. So you don't have to make a perfectly precise twist. You want it to kind of look rough and organic, or not. You want it to look however you want it to look and not how I want it to look. So do whatever you want. But one tip that I can share with you is if you want it to look a little bit more ragged, you can uncoil a couple of your pieces. So just separate some of your wires and kind of back it out. I'll try to get my fingers out of the way so you can see. You can kind of back it out and then recoil it around. And what that's going to do is it's going to loosen your coil and kind of give your tree trunk some interest. Like that. So now we're going to kind of spray out all of the branches. So you're going to fan them out. And you can, of course, design your tree however you want. You can do a weeping willow. You can do, I don't really know anything about trees, so I'm not going to try to come up with any other tree shapes. A bonsai tree. You can do a bonsai tree. Like this one's kind of bonsai-ish. Yeah, do whatever you want. So I have this magical spray of branches. And one thing that I want to show you is on this one, let's focus here. Come on. Well, I'll back it up a little. So you can see that we've coiled a few of the branches together and then separated them out. And so we've done the same thing on this one. Oh, the light likes this one better. You can see it better on this. So we've coiled a few of the branches together at the base and then kind of spread them out farther towards the ring. So that's kind of what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to take a few of these two wires. That doesn't make sense. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm going to take a few of these wires and twist them together. And then once you get a little farther out, you want to place your beads. So I'm going to start with the bottom one. I'm going to put a crystal on it. If it'll stop dancing. There we go. So I'm going to put a crystal on, just like that. And then I'm going to take the wire and coil it around the base. So I'm just going to hold it all in place and coil about 3 to 4 times. So the same kind of coils that we did to make our roots, we're doing on the outside to secure the wires. And now you want to keep these kind of uniform if you can, but if you can't, it's no big deal. So this is what I've just done. And I'm going to do a couple of beads on the next one. So 1, 2, there we go. And see how they just fall right into place? I'm going to do the same thing. Now, one thing that I like to do, just because I'm a little bit particular, is I like to keep all of my coils going in the same direction on each side of the tree. So I'm going to make all my coils go towards the bottom on one side and then towards the bottom on the other side. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to coil and I'm going to come back and show you. Okay, so this is what I have so far. What we're going to do is twist a few more of the wires together. And again, be careful with your twists because they're going to want to go everywhere. So you can let them go everywhere or you can kind of be bossy and tell them what to do. Doesn't really matter. So I've just twisted 3 wires together and I'm going to kind of separate them. And then I'm going to twist 2 of those wires together. Getting fancy on ya. So then I'm going to separate those 2 wires and add my beads and do the same thing. Now notice how I'm not cutting any of these wires. that is because I need those tail ends to be there for kind of extra security as I'm working around the tree. I might need to move stuff around, and in that case it kind of uncoils a little bit and recoils, and also I don't want anything to be permanent until I'm completely done. So if I need to, I can uncoil the wire, move it to a different spot, and kind of go on from there. Okay, so here's a pro tip. What I like to do is pick the center few wires and coil those all together to make like a thicker base in the middle, like this one, just to make it look more like a tree. But again, you do what you want to do. You design your own tree. So I'm just going to take all of these wires and bunch them together and kind of make a little twist and curve in it, just to make it look like a tree. And then I'm going to kind of separate some of those wires, break it apart, and then continue on to the other side. Now, remember, when you switch to the other side, you're going to be, again, coiling those wires downward. But if that doesn't make sense to you, no big deal. You do it however you want to do it. Okay, here's another pro tip. So I have 4 wires coiled together here, but I want this little trunk to look a little bit thicker, but I'm only working with 4 wires. So what I'm going to do is I untwist it. So I've twisted it, I'm going to untwist it a little bit, and that's going to make it look significantly thicker. So you see how that just little bit of untwisting there makes that trunk look so much thicker. Then I can go back in, twist it a little bit more at the tip rather than at the base, and that's going to kind of secure it into place. Okay, we're done. Isn't it beautiful? No, it's not. So we have all these wires that we need to take care of, and what we're going to do is cut them. But you can't just cut them. You have to plan how to cut them so that they're not spiky and they don't like snag your clothing, and so your work is finished and beautiful. So what we're going to do is angle all of your wires so that they are facing the middle of the back of your tree, like this. So this is the back of my tree, and I'm angling all these wires so they're facing the very center of this circle. So I'm going to, one at a time, take my flush cutter and trim the wires. But see how I'm trimming it at this angle so that the wire is going to be pointed down and in? That way it doesn't snag. So you have to be very careful when we're cutting it like this so that you don't cut the tree branches. But it's really easy. And then if you still have a little bit of wire poking out, if you didn't get a perfect flush cut, you can go in and just kind of press it down with the tip of your cutter. So you want to push the wire down like this, and you want to go in and cut like that. So you're going to do that all the way around. Okay, I did it. So you can attach this to whatever you want to attach it to. Or the easiest way to go about it is just with a jump ring. So I have one of our fantastic 5mm tier cast jump rings. I'm going to open it using 2 chain nose pliers. If you have a chain nose pliers and a flat nose pliers at home, that'll work too. Notice how the break is at 12 o'clock. I'm going to take 1 pliers up and down, 1 pliers side by side, and just open it like this. You never want to pull a jump ring open this way like you're cracking eggs. You want to pull it open this way, side by side. That way when you hook it through and close it, you are 100% of the time going to get it closed in the right angle, and it's going to be an easy process. So there we go, hanging on a chain, and you are done. Thanks for watching. You can find the materials at www.beadplace.net. We'll probably have a kit up there for a really long time. If you watch this years from when I post it, we might be sold out. So you were too slow. You should find us earlier. Find us on Facebook, like us, thumbs up, subscribe. Post pictures of your work, please. If you make this or if you've made any of our other projects, please post pictures to our Facebook page. We love to see it. Thanks. Have a great day.